Shout out Good Hits TV. Let's go.
What's up, Good Hits gang? You know what we're about. We're playing the block for the best underground rap here in New York City and beyond. We are in Dallas, Texas at my buddy's wedding. That's why I'm dressed in this fresh fit. We're talking about a fresh artist. We're talking about 2Schizo. Right out of Tempe, Arizona. We're talking about his latest singles, Time, Pinocchio, the burgeoning Hyperpop scene, and his latest tour where he's touring nationwide. This is one of the biggest up-and-coming artists out of Southwest, so sit back and relax for Volume 6, Episode 5 of Good Hits TV. Peace. What's up, Good Hits gang? You know what we're about. We're bleeding the block for the best underground rap here in New York City and beyond. And shit, we got a treat coming straight out of a sold-out show here in Brooklyn at the Living Gallery. We got Schizo in the cut. Dude, how you doing, man? How you living, bro?
Great.
You're on that tour life, dude.
Yes, love it. Living.
Dude, when we talked yesterday, you were like, I'm running on 0 sleep. We should do the interview in the morning. You're the first rapper. And by the way, like, people who are going to listen to this interview are not going to be familiar with my platform because I mostly do drill shit. And you're like one of the first rappers I've interviewed that isn't like a drill rapper. And drill rappers will come out like 2 or 3 a.m. in the middle of the night for their interview. You wanted to do it in the morning. That's like some new shit, bro. You're on some new tip. So has the tour been like tiring? Like, how's tour life going, dude?
Well, we're only one date in, but yeah, I'm tired as shit, clearly, from all the lack of sleep.
I feel that. So tell me about who you're touring with. Like, it's you and it's a couple of other artists. Like, who's coordinating it? What are the next dates on the schedule?
We've got David Shawty headlining. We've got Baymac, and he's headlining and coordinating the tour.
Yeah.
Rawska, Worry, myself.
Yeah. It's a pretty stacked lineup, dude.
Yeah, oh, and Little Yaw.
Damn. So sellout yesterday. Do you guys kind of expect it to go like that for the whole tour? Because Arizona is like your home country right there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, definitely. I'm projecting that we sell out Phoenix and hopefully LA. Yeah.
What for the venue in Phoenix? Have you played in that venue before, just being from the area? Or are you like familiar with where you're going to be playing and shit?
I don't even know where it's at.
When is that show?
The 3rd of March.
Oh, so you guys have time.
Yeah, we're taking a little break, yeah.
Okay.
We're not going to run it like all at once. It's just kind of like a mini like
I feel that.
Here and there. Yeah.
So you're originally from Arizona. Like, how's sort of the underground rap scene there? Like the alt rap scene, I guess you could call it, as like a big broad term.
It was non-existent until me and a couple other people came along.
Really?
For real, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. It started in warehouses, actually in my one show was even in my living room and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have an underground scene.
Yeah. That's surprising because Phoenix is like the type of city where I would think there would be a big underground scene or like a big desire to have one. So has it grown a lot since you started throwing shows out there?
Yeah, there was definitely a desire to have one for sure.
Yeah.
I would say that there was artists, but they were just all like bedroom, like garage, like nobody, not knowing no one, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody had to like kind of pool that together. And then I think a lot of the young people who came along and experienced it and witnessed that, like they immediately jump on wave and are like, I want to do this, you know, hey, when can I come record, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, right.
They get into it and they become now I'm going to their shows. You know?
That's what happens when you're the seed for a while, dude. It's kind of like a proud father moment. In terms of recording,
bastard stepchildren.
dead ass, dude, dead ass.
No, I love them. That's music.
Yeah. I saw a little bit of that last night. Do you do a lot of your recording like in your bedroom yourself? Do you do like personal recording? Do you go to the studio? Like, what's kind of your approach to making music?
Always have and always will do it myself. But I've been thinking about getting into a bigger studio if I do like a studio album and push it like that, you know, with real everything high quality production, nothing, you know, DIY or lo-fi or anything.
I feel that. Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah, because I mean, when you want to go to that like platform, that like plateau, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta get on that wave, you know, and like a very industrialized like wave, you know.
Do you think it makes a difference to record, not to get into like the nitty gritty of music making, but do you think it makes a difference for your sound to record like in a bedroom DIY setup versus like an actual studio kind of?
If you're really good at engineering and everything, it only makes it better. But there is also that aspect of like some people really love that gritty like underground.
Yeah, I think that comes out in your music where it's like, you know, like I'm just listening, you know, Life's So Boring, Time, Pinocchio, just listening to some of your music before your full catalog before you got here, and it's like your sound's so atmospheric and like almost like dreamy kind of, so I feel like it works in a DIY setup.
Yeah, that's the goal for sure. You caught it.
Yeah. So
no, specifically those songs, Life's So Boring and Time, those were like that crunchy, like it's hard to discern what I'm like really saying kind of sound, but you enjoy it because it has that vibe, like you're in there, you know. That's what I wanted from it.
I feel that. I feel that. Dude, you were mentioning like in Phoenix there wasn't really a scene until you and your friends like kind of started putting out music, coordinating shows, getting people together, creating a community. When did this all happen? Like when did you really start taking music seriously and start making music?
That was 2017, 18. Like I think we met in 2017 and I was a part of this group Doom Division. And I met Spooky Kage from Doom Division.
Dude, that's wild. Holy shit.
Maybe you caught my last show here if you saw us.
Yeah. No, dude, I threw a show for Doom Division like last summer.
Oh, no. I was long gone by then.
Yeah. It was last summer. That with Masked Faces. I don't know if you've...
Yeah. I've worked with them too. Yeah.
That's really funny. I did not know that. I've met these guys.
Me and Spooky started.
I've met all of these guys.
We started Doom Division in my backyard.
Yeah, because they're from Arizona. I can't believe I didn't connect that. That's actually mad funny.
So he was from Florida and like came over one day like with this other guy I was working with, and he was like, "Can you record me?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then it was like, "Let's throw some shows."
Yeah.
And then that's how it started. Like, and it was like garage, like breaking shit, and like we had a warehouse and it was crazy. But that's like, I really do think that's when the underground scene for Arizona like started, because nobody was putting on, like, and we would do it every weekend and, you know, break our backs to make it happen. That's blood, sweat, and tears for real.
Dude, that is wild, bro. That's like a big worlds colliding moment for me, because I'm like, I did not think y'all were connected at all, and then now I'm like putting two and two together, and I'm like, yeah, they like on that tour last summer, they did one of their biggest shows was in Phoenix. It ended up getting like shut down, and it's like, the Hot Boy Summer Tour. I threw it with Catacomb and Zero and
that's
Catacomb.
Bro.
Really, dude? Yeah, dude, that's wild, man. Yeah. Shit, we should have had you out here.
I did this show in LA like 2 days later, whatever that was.
Yeah. That you might have been in the LA show with James Curley or whatever. Yes. Yeah, I was like helped put
Were you
that
there
together.
Too?
I was only for the New York one. I only helped out a New York one.
And you know Zero.
Kind of crazy.
Shout out Catacomb.
Yeah, shout out Catacomb.
Almost brought my Catacomb in. That's funny.
That's wild, man. So I feel like you kind of started later in life making music seriously, because nowadays I feel like a lot of kids are making music 15, 16, 17 years old and shit. What kind of influenced you to get out there and start making music? Were you DJing and producing before you started making music? Like, what was your first involvement in the scene?
Well, I started making music at 9. And that was like piano and guitar and bass.
Yeah.
Like whatever I could pick up, you know, and it was forced on me. My grandparents were like in movies and shit.
Whoa.
And, like, so like back then it was like all music and movies and dance were all the same.
Yeah.
You know, like the
Did they try and get you into acting and shit too?
No, they saw that like that was my niche, like, you know what I'm saying? Was music. And because I went to this piano lesson and the piano teacher was like, he's a natural. So they were like, oh yeah, so this is my thing. So I stuck with it and they forced me to do this. I love my Nana to death for this, for real. She's the best. But yeah, that's when it really started. But I don't think it was until high school I was in hardcore bands. I was a beat down, heavy, hard hitter.
Yeah.
Pit boss. Badass, straight edge kid. I don't know who I thought I was, man.
Yeah, straight edge was so big when we were growing up. I remember that shit.
I was a bad dude.
It was like cool not to do drugs. It was like, I'm straight edge.
And be a
I don't
dickhead.
smoke. Yeah. It's like we all went down the same path later.
Right, yeah, like, look at me now. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, I got really influenced. One day we were in the studio doing this hardcore record and we were high and we were like, whoa, let's make a rap song.
Yeah.
And we threw on like this Currency beat. And,
like, dude, shout out Currency, shout out the whole Smokers Club, bro. We grew up off that shit. A lot of kids aren't gonna even know who Currency is.
Right, yeah, shout out to Spitta.
Yeah, Spitta, dude. Spitta Andretti.
That shit was yeah. So yeah, we did this little hip hop song, but then again I was like, damn, bro, like that was too easy.
Yeah.
Like, that's sick. So they didn't take it as my other homies that were in the bands and shit I was working with, they didn't take it as seriously as I did, but I was like obsessed. Like I became obsessed. So I started making my own beats and I probably put out like 5 tapes of self-produced work that's all hidden, like because I
is it on your like SoundCloud and shit?
I don't know where it is. Somewhere. Don't go looking for it.
Do you generally still produce, or do you because I see like you've worked with like Kotenaru and like some other producers and shit.
So yeah, that was a turning point for me. Was meeting Young Jizza, from Cold World Gang, and SK from Cold World Gang,
right?
And those two became my only producers for like a year or two, and then we put out that album Heart Attack,
right?
Solely produced by them, and I think that's what kind of moved me into that sound. But back then we didn't have a name for it. Like it was hyperpop without like the glitching and all that. Like we were making like cutesy rave music beats on, you know what I'm saying? But I was always making emo music, but it never had no guitar beats. It was always digital sounds. Yeah.
Would you classify yourself kind of as like a hyper pop artist, or do you kind of just see yourself broadly as like a rapper and whatever you experiment with different sounds?
I feel like each album that I put out, like each project is like a different kind of subgenre of its own. Like, I mean, back then the Heart Attack album, I'd call it like digi love because I didn't know what to call it at the time. There was hyperpop wasn't a term, you know. And I'd say this new one that I work on, Dragon, it's like a hyper anthems. They're more like have that kind of uplifting, like, you know, chorusy vibe, but also has that hyper pop like kind of dreamy atmosphere that you were talking about earlier, you know?
Yeah. When do you think this sort of like hyper pop movement started? Because now you're seeing like certain artists become really big in the scene, like like, you know, I was speaking with my girlfriend the other day and she was talking about like 100 Gex. I don't know if you would consider them hyper pop or like what you would consider them, but I mean, this is a group that's going to be like at Coachella and well attended at Coachella. And then we saw, I mean, even David last night, like he has this young following that's growing, and it's like, you know, when do you think it kind of started? Where do you think the scene's going? Do you think it's like, do you think hyperpop is always going to be kind of like a niche area of rap, or do you think it's something that, you know, in 5 years we're going to see a bunch of like like charting songs that are going to be hyperpop, you know?
Well, for one, I'll preface it like this: like rap to me, whatever it is, you know, is the new rock. Like there's gonna be countless subgenres, and hyperpop is kind of like the new metal, or like, you know, kind of more experimental kind of side of rap music. So, you know, it could be those hard hitting like David songs, you know, where they're like, they have that kind of evil vibe and they're like banging out that glitch shit. And then, you know, sometimes it could be that like dreamy kind of cutesy bubblegum shit like 100 Gex.
Yes.
And I'd say